Hold on. Oh, there we go. Hello. You ready? Let me put the link in the chat. So YTC, how you doing? Come on, move out my way so I can put my link in. Here we go. Put the link in there. Brian, yo, not a game. Yo. Oh, come on, why I didn't do it? Come on, come on. Here we go. Come on. There we go. The link is in the chat now. So last week, John Jay, he's the first person.
What's up, Corey?
Hello, John Jay.
I'm good. How about you?
Good.
What's up, everyone?
Hey, what you see? Brian said he'll be in a minute.
Yep.
All right.
Well, last week I got 9 out of
9 out of 6.
Yep.
Well, 11-4. Yeah. Would have been 12-3 if it wasn't for the Bengals. Yeah, getting upset on Monday.
Yep.
Yeah. I won 11. I won 11-3. I think. Hold on. Let me fix it.
I would have been 10 out of 5.
You have to count Monday. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me open up my stat sheet. All right.
I already got a recording. Yeah, it's 11-4 for me.
11-4. So basically, week 5 and week
record.
8, double-digit victories. Week 6 and week 7 were worse, but I have not been under 500 yet. So whoopee, I'm doing good so far.
It was only one time, but I've had 4 weeks of double digits. So yeah, 4 weeks.
Yeah, I was because of the
4 weeks of double digits. Yeah.
Who would have thought the Browns were going to win? All right. I'm actually taking this seriously. This pick'em, so I'm doing my research and homework. I got my stats and my.
I got the Patriots upset right. Thank God we got that one. A lot of people picked the Jets, and I knew that was going to be an upset. That game.
I think I went for the Jets too.
Me too.
I took the Patriots, so I got that right.
I don't even remember anymore. Basically, I'm 11-4. That's all that matters.
So I got that upset right, but yeah.
Oops. No. What do I add?
What up?
Hey,
what's up,
David? How you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, YTC. I was looking through my IG stuff and I was like, oh crap.
You just followed me. I saw it.
Yeah,
what's up, Brian?
Yeah. I was like, dude, I get so many freaking follows from IG hoes. It's not funny. I don't pay attention to most of them. So
I know, dude, you know, so many women like Instagram is saying, "Oh, David knows these people. Follow them."
It's all ridiculous.
Women. I'm not from Utah.
I agree. I did not. No, I just don't know these women in general. Like, damn,
I'm not from Utah. Like, what?
David got the whole roster.
25 just today. 25.
45. Damn, David, you have the whole roster.
What the heck?
That's the Bronto right there.
Yeah, it's insane though. So my notifications, I don't keep up on IG. I need to look through those a little more often.
I get a bunch of notifications with random people I don't know. Like, if I don't know you, it's nothing personal. I'm not gonna follow you. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, I have to know you if I'm gonna follow you.
So David, how did you do on pickles last week?
Who won the Monday night game? I don't have that marked.
The Browns pulled an upset. Yeah.
The Browns, I was like, it was a Halloween miracle or whatever.
Are you kidding me?
They blew them out 33-13, I think. 32-13 something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, then I was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5.
Say it again.
10-5.
Oh, 10-5.
Brian, what about you?
Last week I went 10 and just a second. 10-5. I think I did really good last week.
I think everyone did well.
Yeah, everybody did well. Well, me and John are the lead scorers on here. Yeah, this week at 11.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I'm 9-6. So
So there's 6 teams that are on bye, so that there's only 13 games.
Yeah, this is the short week. Yeah, short. Very short games week this week.
This is the week I hate. There's only 2 1:00 games. All the games are in the morning.
Yeah.
And night games.
For me, sometimes when I do the weekly pickups, and what's up, everybody? Sometimes when I do the weekly pick'ems, I don't necessarily go for maybe who should win. I have biases and I have prerogatives. You know, I'm like thinking, why do I want the Rams to win, or why do I want the Cardinals to win here? So even if they're not going to win, I sometimes I go against them. You know.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, pick that makes sense.
But yeah,
Try
I'm
to
not
keep my heart out of
necessarily
it.
picking. I'm not necessarily picking and putting money on any of this, of course, you know. But I have a lot of emotion.
Oh no, like hey, like if you guys had to do this, you know, like basically drop $1 on each team, you guys would do your homework, because that's how me and my friends.
Money's
do. That's how
money's
we
a
roll.
big incentive to research.
Not just your homework though. You're gonna put your biases aside, and you're gonna be like, okay, even with the 49ers, you're gonna be like,
You know what goes into
or the Giants,
what research I have to do, right? I have to I have to look into researches for secondary rankings, key players and this and that, just to decide a prop bet I'm going to put on a certain guy going off against a certain team. There's research like that goes into it. I put on.
I know, like
it's not easy.
There was like I remember when what's that thing that HBO Sports, that Brian Gumbel, when FanDuel, DraftKings, when those websites came out, I think in 2015 or 2016. And the people who were winning the $1 million were mathematicians from MIT. MIT is basically the best school when it comes to mathematics. I think everybody, I don't know if anyone knows, but for those who, in 1992, a mathematician went to Vegas and they ran the house by using mathematics. But because it's Las Vegas, you don't cheat them. So basically they made a movie about how you can cheat Vegas, and that's why. But when it comes to betting, if you don't know your mathematics, you don't know how to do all the trends. Because like I remember one time a guy picked a random, and he showed it on Brian Gumbel. He said, these guys are not Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, those quarterbacks of that time. Yeah, and they chose random quarterbacks, running backs, all that stuff. And then when it all ended, he had like 300 fantasy points, and the closest person had like 100 and something. And he won like out of the entire pot, which was $1 million. He got his cut, $175,000, because he knew nothing about the sport. He just knew the mathematics and the trends. You want to know who does that, which I'm not a big fan of, is the Oakland A's. They do mathematics, how they scout, how they draft, and how they bring in players. Because after 4 or 5 years, they don't pay their players and they ship them off. That's why I call the Oakland A's legalize, stealing from that organization, because they don't pay their athletes.
Okay. So John Jay.
Yep.
How did you feel about the Wilson trade?
Oh, you saw me already. I did like 2 videos about it. Like
I didn't get to see it. I've been falling asleep.
Oh, okay. We got robbed. That's all I can say. Jeff Wilson Jr. is not as bad. Of course, he was an undrafted in 2018.
And that's why I'm saying it's a win, because he's a free agent at the end of the year, and he was an undrafted free agent to start with.
True, 100%. Like any compensation from an undrafted is good, but you look at the body of work and the performances. Like
Okay, this is just all hearsay. Sorry, John, to cut in real quick,
yeah,
but I just heard that we were offered a 6th and a 7th for Jeff Wilson Jr. and the Niners held out, and the same team that offered us that for him, they first said, "Oh, we'll give you a 7th, then we'll give you a 6th," and we held out. Then they called us on Monday and was like, "Hey, how you doing? Do you want a 5th round?" And that's why Jeff Wilson got shipped out. The Niners probably wouldn't even have shipped him out.
mm-hmm.
So if we weren't happy with at least getting a 5th, we weren't going to move him. I know. We had to let go somebody, but we always have Dante Johnson to let go. So
that guy is never going nowhere.
he's got to go to the practice squad,
No,
and he's
no.
coming back.
I said this, and like I heard this from, I don't know who said this, but they said, what if Dante Johnson one day in 2014, when Harbaugh was leaving, he walked in during Jed York and what's his name, Balky, and he heard something, and Jed York, you're gonna stay here and you're not gonna tell the media nothing. Maybe that's why he's still on the team, because this guy is garbage. This guy is the last holdover from the Harbaugh team. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you're right. He's got something on them because he comes in and he can play like utility positions. He's not very good at any one particular position, but he knows our scheme and he knows our team. So everybody's like, "Oh yeah, Dante, he's a good guy. Bring him back." Mm-hmm. But as us as fans, we're like, "Why are you bringing him back?"
Yep. Sheesh. But yeah, like I agree with David and Brian. Like any type of compensation for Wilson, for an undrafted free agent, he was going to be a free agent after this year because we signed him to a team friendly deal. So with all the running backs that we had, you don't want him to leave for nothing. But the body of work said, and if I was, again, remember, like that's why I'm not the general manager. But if I was the general manager, we would not have more losing seasons than winning seasons under the Shanahan and John Lynch era. You have to make tough decisions. I would have let Armstead walk, and I would have paid the money that Buckner wanted, even though he says he didn't want the money. Other people say he did want the money. We don't know what he really wanted, but they could have figured it out. Or
paid Laken Tomlinson.
He signed his 5th-year option. So, all right. If you do well, we'll give you the big money the following year.
Hold up. I got a better option for you. So we extend Buckner, franchise tag Armstead, and trade his ass.
You can't trade a franchise player.
Or why don't you franchise tag Laken Tomlinson back then? You could have just kept the guard and kept the line.
So the franchise tag rule is this: in 2007, the definition of the franchise tag, you get full everything. So you look at the number 1 and the number 5, and you pay them the 3rd salary between them. That's the franchise tag. They get fully guaranteed everything, even if they're injured, if they're not playing, they get full money. That's how it works. After that, you cannot trade them. You cannot do nothing. You cannot release them. Once they hit the free agent market, the team with the number 1 pick gets the rights. If they cannot pay, then team number 2, and if 31 teams cannot pay them, then you have to wait. So once you franchise tag, the player is not happy anymore, and they want out. So you couldn't do that. So I would have let Armstead walk. I would have paid Buckner the 5th-year option. He better prove it. Then you would have paid him with the money. Yada yada. Yada yada. Then what I would have done was I would have let K'Wan Williams walk, Jimmy Ward walk, and start scratch in the backfield. I would have let also Sherman walk, because in 2020 he did shit for us, and then he hasn't played football since. Then what I would have done for Jimmy after the 2020 season, I would have just cut him, took in the dead money, which I think at the time was like 40 million, which is still a lot of money, the dead money. Then drafted Justin Fields and then just build around him. That's what I would have done, because it's about winning. It's not about my personal feelings. Because this is what John Lynch and Cal they put their personal feelings ahead of what is at stake. And I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I have never
John,
seen.
John,
Yeah.
that makes a great theory, and I agree. That would have been awesome, but I think that's a lot of hindsight stuff coming in, and not that you didn't scout it or think about it before then, but that's kind of like we should have, could have. If the Niners really, really, really wanted to win a Super Bowl when 2018 happened, when 2017 happened, we shouldn't have made Jimmy Garoppolo, and this is hindsight too, but we should have made Jimmy Garoppolo the highest paid quarterback, because that 2017 to 2018 season, there was rumors saying Garoppolo could go other places and we could get Tom Brady. So we didn't get Tom Brady that time. Then, the 2019 season happened. We go to the Super Bowl. We hear again, Tom Brady wants to be our quarterback. We don't do it. And now he's in Tampa Bay. He got divorced before the season started. Before the season started this season, we're hearing rumors. Tom Brady wants to be a Niner. So now he's in Tampa Bay. He's playing. Bruce Arians isn't his coach anymore. He divorced his wife. What happens next year? Do the Niners pull the trigger and get Tom Brady? This isn't just like like spectism or anything like that. This is like stuff that's like being made into fruition almost at a certain point, because we passed up on him so many times. And why? Because Jimmy can't win the big one. Well, like you just said, people like Jimmy. So there's people in the organization right now that still believe in Jimmy. Maybe it's Kyle who says, I want to win it my way, so I'll win it with Jimmy, and it'll still be me winning it. And instead of saying no, we'll bring the right personnel in. You bring Tom Brady in, see if you don't win a Super Bowl. Bring Aaron Rodgers in, see if you don't win a Super Bowl. That's why we tried to trade up for Aaron Rodgers before we went for Trey Lance. We had the draft capital. We offered Green Bay what we were going to give Miami. We didn't get Aaron Rodgers. We went for Trey Lance. And then, and everything that happened with him, he got hurt in preseason and, stuff like that. And I think he's going to be great, but maybe he just needs a little bit longer to sit. But I really, really think next season we're going for a veteran quarterback. And I am so grateful that we didn't get Matthew Stafford. At this point, yeah, he won a Super Bowl in LA. I really think that was kind of bought a little bit. But yeah, he's a good quarterback, but there's something wrong with his elbow right now. And if he was on the Niners right now, I think there would still be something wrong with his elbow. I think it affected him in Detroit.
And this is where I pipe up. So McVay uses his players to the max, overuses his players. I mean, Matthew Stafford last year threw more than he ever has in his career.
Not true.
If he was with us 49ers, we're the run first team, he wouldn't have. He probably would have thrown around 70% of what he did last year. So it's kind of a who knows if his elbow would still be jacked up or not.
I know, and technically,
well, that's true. That's definitely true, David. But I kind of think his elbow was jacked up from Detroit. But that who knows, right? But I agree with you.
I know, and technically, in his third or fourth season, he threw 737 passes. Last year, he threw 606, so not the most in his career. Just wanted to point that out. And also, yeah, if he would have been like, I think out of all the quarterbacks, the past off season, not this off season, Matthew Stafford made the biggest sense. We had a defense, we had a run game. We had Alex Mack that year. We still had Lincoln Tomlinson. I think we would have won the Super Bowl very convincingly. I don't think we would have been 10-7. I think we would have won the division because the way we play,
And I agree with you, John. Like looking at it, he would have been ideal for the 49ers. And just like you said, David, we would have ran the ball more. We would have had like that super pass attack like we want with, Lance. But he wasn't our first option. And that's why he went to LA, because he knew we weren't choosing him first. We were trying to go for Watson. And we were holding out for Watson. That's why we didn't get Stafford.
I know, like Watson. I remember, like, and I don't want to talk about the Watson situation because new evidence came out, but let's not even go there. But I remember I dropped the video at that time. That was the most views I had. I think it was almost 6,000 views, and I think I got like 120 subscribers from that video. 2 hours after I dropped that video, I was getting ready to call Rumbo, and then when Rumbo went on the show, remember this is OCD, at its finest. I will never forget this. Someone dropped a $5 super chat and say, "Rumbo, Deshaun Watson, allegation, yada yada," and then after that, boom, so it's a reminder, that I will never forget. And the reason, and again, I don't want to make no conspiracy theory. I don't believe in conspiracy theories, but he said he wanted to go to the Broncos or the 49ers.
Correct.
And when that was said, someone after that dropped to say, "Oh, there's a conspiracy. They don't want, Shanahan to get a great quarterback because then we would have been just running the Super Bowls." So someone, said that in the chat. A bunch of people were like, "Oh, that's, probably what happened." And again, I personally don't believe in like the NFL has an issue with us, but
sorry, John. I definitely believe they have an issue with us since Eddie DeBartolo had his gambling orchestra. The Niners have been super targeted with penalties for dumb penalties. There's pictures, that can totally prove like we do things and we get penalized for it. The other teams do things. If anybody has ever seen the 2014 NFC Championship game on YouTube called Rigged, where we lost, it goes through all of the penalties, almost like play by play, everything that was wrong. Russell Wilson, delay a game, never called. There was so many penalties never called, helmet to helmet, all these things, and it's called Rigged. And the NFL, I think it's taking it off YouTube once or twice, but it keeps coming back up. So if you ever have seen it or if it's back up, I definitely recommend all 49er fans type it in and continue to keep typing it in because it keeps coming back.
I saw that.
So
I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it against Kansas City.
I know, like,
well, the one that I'm talking about, Corey, is against Seattle. It's the 2014 one.
I know
Rigged.
that one too.
Yeah, so
I saw the one when we were playing Super Bowl.
Like,
Kansas
of
City.
course, like there was a lot of bad calls in that title game. I agree, but the 49ers, we were going down the field, we were down by 6 points, and Kaepernick throws the interception. And again, I am not no NFL coach. I am not one of the players. But even though I saw Quentin Patton, who, for those who don't remember, he was one of our draft picks in 2014, was at the 5-yard line with 5 yards of open space, and Kaepernick could have just threw the ball to him, and he would have caught it, and then he would have just got in there. We would have won that game. I don't know how the Super Bowl would have gone, but he decided to go to Crabtree, who was triple covered, and then the ball was batted up in the air by the cornerback, was Richard Sherman. That's why he did the little, "Oh, yeah, Crabtree, yada, yada." And the ball landed at Chancellor or Wagner. So,
okay, do you guys remember the Super Bowl against the Ravens? Do you guys remember, like, 4th down?
Yeah.
Do you remember, like, they kept trying Crabtree, but do you remember, I want to say it was, like, Ed Reed, and I believe it was Ed Reed. He was lined up off sides, and they never called it. He was on our side of the field, and they never called that. They never called it. So I do believe there is a thing against the Niners because we have won a lot. They're trying to keep the NFL competitive. They don't want to make it over dominant. Like, look how many times Dallas has made it to the Super Bowl, and they only have how many rings to show for it. So I don't think that's the type of thing that they're doing to the Niners, but I think they have had their thumb on us since the transfer from Eddie to Denise, and I don't think we've had a strong enough owner to really like push us to going to do this or this. Because honestly, if we had a strong enough owner, we'd still be in San Francisco.
Facts, 100%. I don't even want to talk about that because I have like a 2-hour
Okay.
rant.
Hey, I already told you. I already told you guys. Google Roger Goodell, and just Google who he was a fan of when he was growing up, and you'd understand. He's in a damn Bengals jersey.
Okay. Well, I don't care if Roger Goodell is a Bengals fan. At the end of the day, like, I care about how our team is operated. Like, if the league has a vendetta against us, it is what it is. But you still have to play the games. You still have to play the games. And
Most definitely. And I think that's why we've been still competitive. I think that's why we still haven't always been that first round pick, because we are still going out there and we are still putting, like a competitive team on the field. But
I'm sorry.
I think I'm sorry to cut you off too, John, but I think that's why sometimes when we do look at certain things and like there's certain games and it's questionable, yeah, we can't always say, oh, well, that's because the league has a vendetta against us. But I think that is very possible because at a certain point, there's some funny rules that happen against us. And it just is what it is. But we'll see how this season goes. I think we got a good shot.
Yeah, so before we start the pick, this is the last thing, and then we can start picking the team. So I was looking at Scott McClellan, the general manager before Balky, and basically he was, I think, a player personnel when Singletary, took over the team, and then we brought in Navarro Bowman, all those guys from the draft, and I didn't know he went after he left, or if he got fired or whatever. But he went to the Seattle Seahawks in 2010. He constructed the Legion of Boom. Then he went to the Commanders, and he brought in Jay Gruden, and that's when Kirk Cousins took over the team. So where he's been, I'm not saying he's the architect of great success, but everywhere he's been, once he's left, the team has been really good. And Seattle went to 2 Super Bowls. And again, I don't like to do. I think if we would have kept McClellan and then just fired Balky and brought in Harbaugh, how that relationship
Just not Washington
would have went. I don't know. Again, everything's speculation. We can always make our own theories. I'm not going to do that guy who worked in the NFL, the ultimate NFL universe. These little like 5-minute clips of the alternate NFL universe. I don't know if they're still on YouTube, but I love that little content. And we can always assume certain things, but at the end of the day, McClellan was really good. And what I didn't know when he went to Seattle, he was there from 2010 to 2013, and he drafted Sherman, Chancellor, Bennett, and a bunch of other people on the defense. So it's a reminder. It's a reminder that the ownership screwed up, and it is what it is. Hopefully the Niners win a Super Bowl soon. But if this is what it's going to be like, just look at Dallas when they had Jason Garrett. That dude only had 3 winning seasons, and everything else was always 500. And the only reason why he stayed there because I did not know Jerry Jones and Garrett went to the same university, Oklahoma State.
Damn.
So they had a connection. So eventually, the fan and the media and his investors were like, "Dude, you got to get a better coach, man. This guy isn't cutting it." I got a feeling if we had the same pressure with our fans, the media, and the Niners, I think do have like a share, like a stock group that puts pressure on Jed York. We need to win now. But unfortunately, and again, this is just my personal opinion. the people who live in Silicon Valley, they don't really give a damn
Uh-huh.
Super Bowls.
They're
Because
not passionate fans, right?
No, I'm not saying they're not passionate. I'm just saying that the culture there, it's more, that area is more like a suburb, and the people don't want the team there. The
Yeah, the
politicians
rich.
don't want. So at the end of the day, you know, if they were here, like this is the thing. I know, like a lot of people talk shit about San Francisco. You know, like the politics and the culture. The people who live in San Francisco, we open our mouths and we talk shit, and you know that's why we never were able to get a stadium, because the stadium was not owned by the NFL or the Barlow family. It was owned by the city. So when people left, the taxpayers, and this is the reason the taxpayers are still pissed off about it, because for decades we paid billions in taxes to keep that stadium in Candlestick Park. That's one of the big reasons, and a lot of bullshit. But at the end of the day, we're like, we better get our money back for keeping that stadium there as long as we did. But
I truly believe in my heart that in like the next 10 to 15 years, the Niners will be moving back to San Francisco. It's going to happen. The Warriors moved from San Francisco to Oakland, back to San Francisco. The Giants got a new stadium. The A's hopefully won't be leaving. San Jose hopefully will win a Stanley Cup. You know, this is all, you know, like a pipe dream, right? But it's going to happen, right? But with the Niners moving back to San Francisco, it's going to happen. But the sad thing about San Francisco is it doesn't seem to be a city anymore. It seems to be more of a working, you know, place where people go there. They're working and then they drive out of the city. They don't necessarily live there anymore. It doesn't seem to be like a neighborhood or a community.
Oh man. Well,
And that's happened for like the last maybe.
It's happened to a
20
lot of
years.
big cities, not just San Francisco.
But
Been
for
a lot
San
of big
Francisco,
cities.
you got all these historical buildings, you got all these beautiful places, and there's still people living there, but it's getting fewer and fewer. And John, I know you know what I'm talking about. It's just like less and less. So we do need a strong, you know, push to get the team back to San Francisco.
Yeah.
And it'll happen.
I know, like basically for those who know the Cow Palace, you know, I live around that area. But when you're driving, you know, like that part, and you're going into the city, it's a blue collar, basically blue collar. The houses are not luxurious. The people there don't wear suits, you know, and then it's so diverse, black and Latin in that area. Then you go into the city, you start driving, then you go, you know, City Hall and all that area. Then you start to see those people, suits, ties, yada yada. But the further south you go, that's why it's San Francisco is like three cities. You got the blue collar, you got the people who live in the middle because you know they can't go nowhere, and then you go up. The further north you go, the city is more like tourist. The people who are stuck there and the blue collar. So it's like San Francisco is not what it was anymore. Hopefully it changes, but as of this moment, like I've said this, you know, we're not coming back here anytime soon. I don't even think in a decade or 15. The Raiders left because they were kicked out, and financially, you know, because Nevada, you know, it is becoming a place to go, you know, because a lot of people don't have money. So a lot of people who are able to go to Nevada, a lot of Californians are moving over there.
Well, I have to kind of disagree a little bit to that. Like the Raiders weren't
But let's
necessarily
get it.
kicked out. Sorry, let me do this real quick. The Raiders weren't kicked out. They weren't kicked out. They wanted the city to pay for their whole complete stadium, and they kept saying, "Oh, we'll go to San Antonio, Los Angeles, we'll go to Las Vegas." So then Oakland finally got tired and threw their hands up and said goodbye, and that's why the Raiders left. But yeah, I definitely hope the Oakland A's can stay and the Bay Area can stay, you know, a little bit, you know, competitive. But yeah, Corey, let's go and jump when you're ready.
Oakland, you know, they kicked the teams out. That's why they came back to San Francisco. And I remember because I watched the local news.
Well, the Warriors didn't get kicked out. The Warriors decided to build on the other side of the bay, closer to the Giant Stadium, because it was financially better and beneficial for them.
No, I remember that there was a person who was a member of the board of Oakland, and they said they have priorities right now that are more important than sports. So if the teams want to leave in their own personal, we're not going to fight for them. We're not going to stop them. We actually encourage them to leave. So again, it was the same thing with the San Francisco. We encourage them to leave because we're not going to work with them. We're not going to do this, and that's the problem that nobody wants to talk about. That's what happened. Now, the technically they played here in San Francisco first, but they went to Oakland. Not sure why in the 70s, but yeah, they were from here first. So
Yeah, they're the
now
California Warriors to begin with.
now because basketball and baseball, there's a lot of games. Football, it's like only 8 regular season games. So it doesn't bring in like that's why basketball and baseball makes a lot of sense. Because one thing that I don't know how all the other teams, I know YTC will probably correct me, but they're taxing the tickets now. So basically, when you buy a ticket, just like any sales tax, there's a tax that goes to the city. So you have 41 basketball
sure.
games, that money goes to the city. You have 81 baseball games, that money so that's a lot of money in taxes. Football, there's only 8 games, so it's not profitable. Again, I can go a 2-hour rant why they're not in San Francisco no more, but I know Corey wants to start the pick 'em, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna stop right here.
Yes, I
I
do.
understand. Yeah,
No, sorry,
All
Corey.
right, hold,
I know,
hold,
for sure.
I just have one quick thing to add. Did any of you guys get this thing from YouTube where they gave you a black background? It's kind of like experimental.
Yeah,
A dark background, like the web page.
Yeah, I got this thing
Yeah,
this
you can
morning
switch the
where,
theme.
yeah, but yeah,
You can switch
where
to
I
the
switched
theme. That's
my
what I do on my
background to
YouTube page.
black and it has white writing. I love it.
yeah.
Yeah, I always go dark mode on my phone and on my computer.
I don't like. I am
I love the
probably
dark
the
mode.
only. I think I'm the only person that keeps YouTube with the white. I have nothing
I
against the
keep it
black,
dark.
but yeah, a lot of people choose like every processor. They always go with the black mode. It's more cooler. But yeah, that's
It's
been
more
around for a while.
common. Yeah,
It's a
especially in
lot easier on the eyes, though. I'll say
mood.
that.
Yeah,
What I
It's
did
just
get from
threatening.
YouTube
Yeah.
recently was that they sent me an email saying that I can now create a URL, and if I
Yeah.
don't, then they'll pick it for me or whatever. And I don't really
You can
want
customize it.
yeah, I'm not sure because I'm not making a website right now, and I don't want it to be at Bryant Culp. But I mean, like YouTube already does that, and I don't really. If I do start a YouTube channel, I'm gonna let all you guys know. I am in
You're
the
well.
thoughts of doing that, but it's not going to be anything like that we're doing right now. It's going to. I have a little bit of a different idea, and for that, I still want it to be like when you guys type in Bryant Culp because that's me. I'm not. My idea, okay, honestly, like I want to have a YouTube channel on Tuesday, and it'll be like called Kicker Tuesday, but it would be a call-in show, and you'd have to call in early in the morning. And if anybody steals my idea, okay, that's fine. But it would be an early call-in show before, like it would be good for Eastern time, and it would be good for Pacific time. But again, I know Corey wants to get onto the show, and I'm not trying to plug myself, but that's something that I've been thinking about doing, in the future. But I would tell everybody, prior to that. But
nice.
that's just me. But I still want to be Bryant, so I don't know anything about the URL and what YouTube's trying to send me. So if you guys know anything about it and you want to let me know, like just
Very
DM
well.
me or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, before y'all got in all that big discussion, I had one more question about the Wilson trade. This is one I think I didn't like about the trade a little bit. We putting all our cookies in that Elijah Mitchell could stay healthy for the rest of the season. And the way Cal is with his other running backs, I just think we should have. I don't know. I feel like trade. We're taking a trust chance because Elijah Mitchell can't seem to stay healthy. But I guess I move on. Let's move on.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Thursday night, November the 3rd, tomorrow, it's Philadelphia Eagles at Houston.
Well, the cakewalk continues. Go ahead, Philly.
Yeah.
Okay, John Jay.
Oh man. Anyway, I'll save my jokes for later. All right. All right. So Thursday night, you got the Philadelphia Eagles versus the
At
Texans.
Houston.
All right. I'm going to take Philadelphia because I've lost faith in the Texans. I think that now I've seen a lot and they're not going to win a lot of games. So I got the Eagles.
Yeah.
Another week where BPS control the Giants fans.
Yeah, even in our bye week, we can't even in our bye week.
Well, seeing this ain't now the franchise.
Well,
This is-
so is anyone picking Houston? Because I'm picking Philly.
Unless the Steve Rosen guy, I don't know.
David,
That's all I can think of.
Philly, Bryant.
Dante.
I'm picking Philly. I like Houston because they play tough, but they're not going to win this game. If they do, it's going to be like a disappointment.
If they do, I'm definitely trolling Eagle fans. If they do, I'm definitely trolling.
I mean, I definitely want to see them, beat Philly, but for right now, I don't think. I think they're at this certain point where they're going to be like, yeah, let's just start losing games now.
So I'm wondering, could Dina put Houston Chargers, Miami?
She picked Houston. She doesn't like Philly.
Yeah,
She lives in Philly. She doesn't like it. And she's a Niners fan, so she sees the pain.
That is Dina. Is that your upset of the week? Houston beating Philly.
Oh, that'd be so
I'll
nice,
pick-
though.
Oh, that would be so funny if the Texans beat because all Eagles.
Yeah, I'm definitely
fans are
trolling the Eagles.
The
Definitely
season's
trolling them.
over. The season's over.
We're
Hey,
frauds.
you guys, when we get to it, I don't think you guys are going to believe what I picked for the trash ball for the week.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. But when we get there, we'll get there. I know what you mean.
I picked Philadelphia. Too. I can't go Houston. If they win, I'll be like, why is every team I think I'm gonna win? I say they can't lose. They lose. Sorry, team.
I like being up to date with what's going on.
Be quiet, phone. I'm not talking to you.
Be quiet, phone.
Yeah, this is my Google to start also said start talking.
Be quiet, you wretch. No, stop.
Oh, man. I have millions of jokes about
Him and his phone.
those phones talking to you. Oh man.
Okay, so Sunday, November 6th, LA Chargers at Atlanta.
I took an upset on this one. Give me Atlanta over the Chargers. They're at home and they're finally finding their stride, and that run game's going to run all over the Chargers defense. And I don't trust their coaching in LA.
So yesterday I was on that RSF Niner. Check him out. He has like almost 8,000 subscribers, and we talked for 40 minutes, me and the panel. And one of the guys who I found out was served in the military brought up some big points that the Chargers defense is not good, and they have a defensive-minded coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wait a second. I just remembered that your head coach was the former coordinator of the Rams. He took over the team and he's made the defense awful. No, give me the Atlanta Falcons. Give me the Falcons. By just you telling me that their defense is not good. Wow, Falcons.
But yeah, I'm definitely taking the Falcons.
Yeah, SF 49ers or R 49ers. Raj, he's a really cool guy. And then the guy you were talking about, Gammon Brown, he's super smart when it comes to 49ers. And he's very polite. he's in so many people's chats. Like he is. Shout out to Gammon Brown. He is the GOAT. And if John, if you could ever get Gammon Brown on your show and do like a, one-on-one, I mean, he is so knowledgeable about just like different things.
He
And
took.
then Raj is really cool too. He's the guy who has the YouTube channel. But yeah, when you told me you got on his channel, I went and watched it. And yeah, shout out to you. You had a lot of great things to say.
Oh, yeah, he took one of my answers when because like a bunch of people in the chat were saying OBJ, 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 and he basically laid out all these points. Basically, he talked about how the Debo, the play scheme. He talked about the IU play, but he went in all detail. And I said also, OBJ had a torn ACL. I don't know if he's gonna play anytime. And people still want to trade for it. A guy who's still injured. So I was like, wow. And he basically just put up all the stuff. Like, we have too many receivers now for the first time. I know we don't use Gray. We occasionally use Ray McCall. Yeah, that guy that you talked about, very intelligent.
Yeah, Gammon Brown. Yeah,
right.
he's super smart. But
So Brian, who you choose?
for the Chargers in Atlanta,
Yeah,
Chargers.
Chargers.
Mhm.
David.
All right. David, the Falcons or the Apple Chargers?
No cops.
I'm going with the Apple Chargers.
The Apple.
The Apple Chargers. Yeah, because they break easy. It's just-
Okay, so
Now Atlanta can probably win, and they got momentum, but I'm rooting against Atlanta.
It's at Atlanta, but I still think I think the Chargers are going to pull that one out. Win that game, and then they're going to lose the next one. But that's next week.
I know. Like, at the end of the day, but the Falcons, they've been playing pretty well. Like I know
exactly.
I know they should have lost to the Panthers, but the Panthers player was an idiot, took his helmet off and acted like a goof, and then gave the Falcons his. But again, I didn't know, how awful their defense was.
But yeah.
And their head coach is a defensive mind. I was like, what? No wonder they're not
Well,
playing
yeah.
so well.
For sure, I'll take the Atlanta. Yeah, I don't trust their head coach. He's made a lot of boneheaded fourth quarter decisions.
Oh yeah, and he
that
always
cost them a lot of
goes for it at the worst moment. I remember last year you did a stream, and they're still inside their territory. It's 4th and 1, and turnover on downs. Oh my God.
They go for it instead of punting it.
well, I'm going dealing with the
Makes a lot of
Chargers. You know what? I won't go with the home team.
Corey's
Phil.
ball with Atlanta.
Right, that's we picked Atlanta. So yeah,
Excuse me.
we did too.
Yeah, I'm going with the home team.
Yeah,
Something in my gut says Atlanta. Something about my gut says Atlanta. I'm gonna go with Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hey, Marcus Mariota in our system would be a good quarterback.
He probably would. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not the thing. Miami at Chicago.
Miami, you already know. They're about to get lit up.
All right. So last week, the Bears played the Cowboys. They lost by 20 points. Miami is 5-3. Miami became a big winner. These are the 3 draft picks that we traded to Miami. Tyreek Hill, Bradley Chubb, and Jalen Waddle. The Miami fleeced us. Just remember that. So they won. They got our running back. Miami, they're
They
going
got
all
2 of
in.
our running backs.
They're going all in. The
Hey.
Bears are still rebuilding. I know they got the Steelers wide receiver, but I'm gonna go with Miami.
Claypool,
So,
yeah.
Michael, if you're listening, I'm sorry, but I gotta go against your team.
See, you said his name. Now he's gonna come on here.
I don't care if he comes on here.
Michael. Since it's Beetlejuice.
He's talking all that smack that they're gonna go 11-6 or something.
Yeah, he
11-5. Was it 11-5?
11-6. Something like
He said that they were going to win 11 games at the beginning of the season. Remember, before the season started.
I'm sorry.
I thought we were going to win 7. I was realistic about my
They
team,
might
but
win 3 more, maybe 4 at the most, but they are not.
well, if we win to next week, they technically got my pick right already at 7 right there. I had us at 7 wins heading into the season. I knew we were going to be this good.
Brian.
For Miami, I'm going Miami. Miami, Chicago. Yeah.
And David going Miami. Right?
Of course. There's no way Chicago's going to win that one.
And Dina's going Miami. And I'm going Miami.
That's
And
too
Jay,
easy.
John Jay, they have 2 of our running backs.
Little
Hey,
San Francisco.
I do got to give the Bears props, though. They put up 29 points against the Cowboys. So.
Yeah, they did.
I thought they were going to choke, though, the Cowboys, when it was like tied and the Cowboys ran away with it.
Oh, I know he doesn't know about Corey Davis' channel, but shout out to my boy Jonah Pitney, who, oh man, I saw that boxing highlight, and
Yeah.
Jonah can fight. Like I've seen a lot of amateur boxers. Like I've seen boxing fights. Shout out to Jonah. Like this guy has good movement. His opponent was grabbing him, taking wild shots. I'm like, what is he doing? So shout out to Jonah.
Mhm.
Thank you for pointing out. Thank you, Aaron.
What's up, Aaron?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
What up, Aaron? Yeah.
Let me take Dina for a minute. Okay. Next one. Carolina at Cincinnati.
Give me the Bengals, but I wouldn't be upset if I wouldn't be shocked if Carolina upsets them because Joe Burrow plays horrible without Jamar Chase. It showed after last night in the weeks he didn't play with him. He might be the reason they might cost his team. So I wouldn't be shocked, but I'll take the Bengals just to play safe.
Mhm. All right, so the Bengals lost to the Browns. I don't know how that happened. They're 4-4. Carolina beat a division opponent against, I think, the Buccaneers, but they barely, they could have won, but so the undisciplined, nature of how they play, inexperience. There's a lot of players that are not going to be there next year. By default, just by default, I'm going to take the Cincinnati Bengals, and I'm very scared to make this pick, but the Bengals right now probably are the better team. And divisional games are always the trickiest. And I did pick the Bengals last week, but any divisional game is not easy, no matter what the record is, who's in first place, who's in last place. So I'm going to take the Bengals.
Okay. David, Brian. Go Brian.
I am definitely in agreement. It's going to be the Bengals. It's a home game for the Bengals. Joe Burrow has to prove something. But I would not be surprised if Carolina won because this is one of those games. And for the last couple of weeks, Carolina's been hungry. And if you guys remember, or if you guys even think about it, since Carolina's came into the division, the league, Carolina became a team in 1996 or 1995, somewhere in there. They have been the better team since Cincinnati. So for Carolina to come in and lose, it is because they're transitioning and but they are hungry. And for whatever happened the last game, it was an error. Carolina has a lot of fight left in them, so I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm going Cincinnati.
And David,
I am going with Roger Goodell's team, the Cincinnati Bengals.
and I'm going Cincinnati, and I believe Dina went with Cincinnati too. Yep. Oh boy, Dina. Okay. Aaron says the community is exploding with new content creators. Yep.
All right. So what's the next
So
pick?
it is. And next pick is Green Bay at Detroit.
Give me
Hey,
Green-
before anybody says anything, let me ask everybody, what's wrong with Green Bay?
Rodgers is one of the reasons, for sure.
Now you think it's because he doesn't want to be there, or is
He
it
doesn't want to be there, and because he's just not motivated. He doesn't want to play with the receivers he has over there. He's consistently throwing them under the bus. It's clear he has no intentions of wanting to stay on the team. He'll probably be gone after this year. I
Do
think
you
he
think
just
he'll
isn't
be
caring
traded?
for it.
Do you think he'll be traded because of his contract, or do you think he's just going to retire?
He probably might just retire. I wouldn't be shocked. He might just retire.
The thing that's
I
different.
just feel he's tired of it all, but still. Give me Green Bay over Detroit though. Detroit's completely horrible this year. I wouldn't be shocked though if Detroit won though. But, I'm taking the lesser worst team right now in Green Bay compared to Detroit for this one.
Okay, John Jay.
All right, I got the Packers in this game. The Lions, they always put points on the board, but for whatever the reason, basically, they're playing Miami, and they showed that game, in my area. Miami, and basically Miami would score, Detroit would score. Miami scored, Detroit scored. Miami
It was
scored.
back and forth, yeah.
It was a back and forth game. The Packers lost to the Commanders. They lost to the
And
Jets.
Buffalo. And Buffalo past week, yeah.
So I'm not sure what's wrong with the Packers. Now, you know what? I'm gonna take. You know what? Call me crazy. I'm taking the divisional upset, and I'm gonna change my pick to the Lions.
All
Shout
right.
out John Burr.
John Burr, yep. But still, I completely understand, yeah.
I'm worried about because they are putting
Sure.
the Lions are putting points. I think they put 30, 34 points.
No, 27. They lost 31-27, yeah.
Yeah, so
Something's wrong with Green Bay.
Right.
I'm going to take Green Bay. It's my uncle's team. I believe Green Bay has enough talent. I don't want to stand here and say Aaron Rodgers has given up yet. I think he has enough talent to say, okay, and push the ball. It's Detroit. But I would not be shocked if Detroit won.
David.
I'm going with the Slackers because even though they suck, Aaron Rodgers still owns the Lions.
yeah.
Well, sorry, I said it wrong. Karen Rodgers still owns the Lions.
Well, actually, you also said it wrong. He still owns the Bears. I still owe you. Anyway, I'm done with my.
I'm going with Green
I
Bay.
heard that.
I'm going with Green Bay. Even though they are at Detroit and that Green Bay been playing sloppy, but I just think Aaron Rodgers is gonna bounce back and win this game. I think he's gonna win. And John Jay, you're not alone. Because
Yeah, I'm all by myself.
No, you're
And
not.
you know,
See on my screen, which her last pick, Dina's pick,
Detroit.
Detroit.
I don't know,
She
like
picked Detroit.
something's telling me
Ugh.
in my gut that this is a game that everyone's gonna pick the Packers. But as I mentioned, Miami was a better team, and Detroit, like I've said this for the last 20 years. They are just like the Raiders. They've always had a good offense. That they've never had a good defense. The only time they had a good defense was when Caldwell was there, and he got fired because of stupid, dumb. Oh, I don't care if we win the division. The Lions should win Super Bowls. Win the division first. Get to the playoffs and win games. And Caldwell, I felt bad. In 4 seasons, he had 3 winning seasons and 2 playoff appearances. Disgusting what they did to him. And call me biased. I felt bad for Caldwell.
Mhm.
But yeah, the Lions don't have a defense, but they would put points on the board. All right.
Okay, let me see. Okay. Next game is Indianapolis Colts at New England.
New England and Indianapolis. I'll give me New England. I still don't believe in the Colts offense. Even with Ellinger, they didn't really do that well. They were struggling against the Washington defense that wasn't really good this year. But yeah, I think the Patriots, they're at home. They have the momentum. It's hard to beat Belichick and New England against that defense. So give me the Patriots.
John Jay.
Yeah, I'm going to choose the Patriots. Patriots last week, I thought they were going to lose to the Jets. The Jets are like people need to start respecting the Jets. They're playing really good. I think next year we will see Saleh finally have that team being a contender. This is the transitional year. Basically, last year Saleh was a rookie head coach. A lot of rookie players, a lot of young players. This is the transitional year from that. So, but the Colts, I have no confidence in them no more. As long as Bailey Zappi or Mac Jones, as long as they manage the game and their defense plays well, that's how the Patriots are going to win a lot of games. So, come on, Bailey Zappi. So let's go with the Patriots.
Okay, David.
I'm going with the Patriots because the Colts just, they are a humongous question mark.
Brian.
I'm going Patriots, but I think if we had Matt Ryan, we'd be doing a little bit better.
I'm going with the Patriots too, and Dina, she went with the Patriots.
Yep. What the heck did I do with my? There it is.
Okay, next game is
Bills versus Jets.
Bills versus Jets. Yes.
All right, give me the Bills on this one. I know, but don't count the Jets out, though. I wouldn't count them out, though, but I'll take Buffalo in a close game. I expect this to be a very low-scoring game. Both defenses have been killing it this year.
So the next game is Bills versus Jets.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Bills at the Jets.
Last week I took the Jets. I'm going to take the Jets. This is a divisional game. The Jets played really well against the Patriots. The Bills, they're the ultimate favorite, but when it comes to these divisional matchups, I'm going to take the Jets. I like the Bills. Don't get me wrong. I like the Bills, but as I mentioned, Robert Saleh is finally, I think he learned from his mistakes in San Francisco, and now he's taking those, and now he's doing the opposite. And I spoke to a Jets fan 2 weeks ago. They have the best third down defense in the AFC. Wish he would have had that when he was here, but they have the best third down defense. Best third down defense means fourth downs, punts.
A lot of 3-and-outs forced, yeah.
So I got the Jets. I think the Bills, it's a divisional matchup, and these Jets are in second place. They're in second place. So give me the Jets.
Okay. Brian.
Buffalo.
David.
I'm going with the Bills.
Okay,
Jets are
and
still Jets.
Corey is going with the Bills too. And Dina went with the Jets. Okay, the next game is Minnesota and Washington.
Oh, give me Minnesota on this one. Simple. But I wouldn't be shocked if Washington won since they're at home and they're playing much better under Taylor Heineke.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Now it's my favorite time of the stream, the trap game of the week. All right, let's review this game. Let's review this game. So the Vikings are 6-1. They're the second team in the NFC. But if you take away the first game of the season, all of their games have been one possession games. They have been a team that basically should have lost to the Bears, should have lost to the Lions, but they got those victories. The Commanders are 4-4. I did not know they were 500. Okay, Taylor Heineke, no disrespect, is better than Carson Wentz when it comes to knowing this system. He's been in this system for 2 years. The Commanders played very well with Taylor Heineke last week. I'm taking the Commanders. Take the trap, and guess what? Go for over for the betting line. This is the trap game of the week. Do not take the favorites, take the trap. Let's go, Commanders.
Okay. Bryant.
Ooh, I love the passion, John. The Commanders definitely are playing with a lot more. I think that's the first time I call them the Commanders too. Washington is playing with passion, right? But I think this is Minnesota, so I'm going to say Minnesota. But I wouldn't be surprised if Washington beats them. They're definitely playing with some passion.
Yep.
Okay. And David.
I think the Vikings are going to raid the commies.
Okay. And Dina takes Minnesota. And I'm taking the purple juice eaters.
So I'm the lone wolf. Woo, yeah.
Yep. Hey, everyone's got to have their upset of the week. You guys ain't going to believe mine.
Hey, every week there's an upset. That's why the trap games are real. And this is not a divisional match.
That's why I took Atlanta as my trap game. That's why I took Atlanta as an upset.
Again, Washington, with Heineke, the offense played way better under Carson Wentz. I think Carson Wentz was a big mistake in Washington. And we'll see what happens after the season ends. But at the end of the day, like I said, in my opinion, the Commanders play way better with Heineke, and they're 4-4. They're 4-4. They're the best division. Basically, who would have thought the East, the AFC, and the NFC East? Shout out to the East Coast. They have the best divisions in the NFL this year.
Okay. This Las Vegas Raiders at Jacksonville. You got YTC.
Jacksonville and the Raiders?
Yeah. Is that Jacksonville?
After what happened with the Raiders, I think they'll be bound to bounce back this week. I don't trust Jacksonville after they lost to Denver like that, but I wouldn't be shocked if they won. But it's a trash bowl game either way. Anyone can win this game, but I took the Raiders on this one.
John Jay.
All right. If Michael's listening, tell your Jaguars friend, whatever his name is, who had to pay bets a few weeks ago. Cough, cough. Anyway, I got the Las Vegas Raiders. I do not trust the Jacksonville Jaguars. I did not know that Trevor Lawrence threw an interception in the end zone where he had no receiver wide open. What was he doing? He just threw it at a defender. I don't know what he did. Then they had an opportunity to go down and win the game, and then the first thing, he threw the ball to, guess what, K'Wan Williams. So when you're throwing the ball to K'Wan Williams, I'm sorry, the Jaguars are frauds. Give me the Raiders.
Okay, Bryant.
Okay, so this is like my trash bowl trap game of the week. The Raiders should come in and win the game because yeah, they got shut out. We think that they are the better roster. They have the better quarterback, the more professional wide receiver. But I think this is Jacksonville's game. So I'd like to see Jacksonville win for the upset. This is my trash bowl trap game of the week. And I think Jacksonville comes out on
Trash.
top.
He said trash. Facts. Anyway,
David.
All right, we to me yet?
yeah.
So I have no faith in Jock McDaniels whatsoever. I don't think the guy could even clean a bathroom properly. So I'm going with the Jags.
Okay, Dina went with the Jags too.
Mhm.
And I just, this one's kind of hard because I don't have faith in neither one of them.
Yep, it's the Faders versus the F after the Ag Wars.
I'm
this
like
week.
basically like I can't believe at one point people thought the Jacksonville Jaguars were going to win the division. They have lost 3 consecutive games in a row. And I remember a Jaguars fan who had to pay money to some people I know because he said he was going to rob them in the offseason. Highway robbery. Oh my gosh, who is this guy?
That's
Anyway,
Jaguar fans for you.
Now Michael's like, Jay, don't talk about my best friend. He'll fart on you.
That's where he learns all these top terms. What do you think he learned all that stuff from?
Let me apologize. These guys don't know what I'm talking about.
So
Well, Corey, if you have a coin, you could just flip a coin and just say fuck it. Flip a coin. Doesn't hurt.
I'm
just go with your gut. Just go. What is your gut telling you, Corey?
I'm gonna do like I would did with the Chargers Atlanta game. I picked Atlanta because they're at home. I'll pick Jacksonville because they're at home. And there's a lot of people out here, all the Raiders fans talking, they don't believe they gonna win any more games. They think the Raiders tanking this year. Okay. We got 2 birds going against each other.
Red chicken.
A hawk and a cardinal.
Red chickens versus the sea chickens.
That's right.
All right.
So YTC, who you got?
Arizona and Seattle. Arizona struggled the last time they played them. I understand they're having D-Hop back. It changes the way they play their offense for sure, but I can't trust their inconsistency and Cliff Dingleberry's play calling, what he did against Seattle the last time he played. So give me Seattle on this one for the sweep for the first time in a very long time.
John Jay?
All right. As long as I can remember, the Cardinals and the Seahawks always split the series, or somehow the Cardinals own the Seahawks. I'm going to reverse it this time, and I'm going to take the Arizona Cardinals because the last game, it was 19-9. Both teams did not look good. The Cardinals, they're the 32nd. Basically, they're the 32nd franchise with the most injuries. The Niners have moved up just a little bit to number 27. So we're still at the bottom with injuries. But with all the injuries, the Cardinals, I see why my boy TR, and I feel bad for, out of all the Cardinals fans, I feel bad for TRL, the only dude. He's the coolest, most relaxed Cardinals fan. So I'm gonna take his team. I know he doesn't want to talk about his team, but I'm gonna take the Cardinals. I think it's gonna be even because I don't know like if these teams sweep each other, but I remember there was a game that went to overtime, and the Seahawks missed 2 field goals, and then the Cardinals in the final seconds at overtime got the field goal It's going to be a competitive game, and I'm going to take the divisional upset. I got the Cardinals.
David.
All right. I'm gonna say the red chickens with I wish TRL was here. Get out the way, man.
Get out the way,
Get out
man.
the way, man.
I'm
Back
sorry,
up.
TRL.
Get back in your lane.
I'm
No,
sorry,
stop.
TRL. You're my boy, man. You're a good
I
dude.
wish he was here. It's funner when he's around.
Okay, Brian.
I would be very, very happy if the Cardinals won, but I think it's going to be Seattle.
Dina taking Arizona too. And as much as I want the Arizona to win, I want them to beat Seattle. I want Easy to have a little fun with Noah on the next round table.
I know Noah's been holding that Seahawks first sign the whole time. The last time the W fell over, that I was laughing.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just
It's
wishing,
difficult. Like these two, yeah, like
I'm my gut feeling says Seattle's gonna win because of you know what? I'm gonna go with the home team
okay.
again. Arizona, and Dina took Arizona too.
All right. Next game. Next game's a tough one.
Yep. LA Rams at Tampa Bay.
Oh man. All right. Let's see
Yep.
what
The battle of the two teams that are possibly going to miss the playoffs. But yeah. This is also my upset for this week. I'm taking Tampa Bay at home. Rams are favored by Vegas somehow. But for me, I have an upset for this week. That's my second upset is the Bucks over the Rams. It can go either way, but yeah, I'm going to take the home team on this one. And a much better quarterback right now for this one.
All right. This is actually the hardest game for me to pick because I don't know who's going to win this game. I do not know. Like I can say, all the stats and this and that. I don't know who's going to win this game. Now, a tie can happen. You never know. Now, because I have to make a selection, my gut is telling me that the team right now that is the better team is playing at home. Tom Brady is still the GOAT, no matter what anyone says. Matthew Stafford, against our defense, we, got him, pressured him. He played awful in the second half. What's his name? Todd Bowles is a good defensive minded guy. So I'm going to basically say that this is going to be the Rams offense versus the Bucks defense, and I'm more confident in the Bucks defense than the Rams offense. So process of elimination, I have to take the Buccaneers, but I don't know. The Rams could win, but as I mentioned, this is a tough game for me. I'm taking the Bucks.
Okay. David.
This is my trash bowl for the week, and I'm taking the Bucks. Rams got to go all the way back there. So
Okay, Bryant.
I agree with David. That's going to be a long travel. They already got their butt kicked, and I think Tampa Bay needs to rebound. I go Tampa Bay.
Okay. And
You know
Dina
what?
took
We didn't mention the fact that the Rams beat the Bucks in the playoffs, and they might be looking for some revenge.
Yeah, good point.
Dina took the Bucks too. And you know what? Every time, what y'all just mentioned about last season, every time I picked the Rams to beat the Buccaneers to beat the Rams, the Buccaneers lost. And something about, I think it's like we got the Rams number, the Rams got the Bucks number. I think Sean McVay just knows how to beat Tampa Bay.
Mhm.
So I'm going LA Rams, even though I like to be wrong because I can't stand the Rams. I don't want them to win. But I'm just thinking with the way the Rams is beating on the Bucks, even though Tampa Bay defense, their offensive line plus the linebacker, Mr. 45, supposed to be good, been getting pushed. He seems to get off tackles. So I'm gonna go with the Rams. Think they're gonna take their anger that they couldn't beat us and take it out on Tampa Bay. And Sunday night football.
All right, Sunday night. Yep. This is for once a good game.
Tennessee at Kansas City.
Yep, the battle of 2-5-2 teams. The last time I picked the Chiefs against the Titans, the Chiefs got their asses handed to them. I think they got blown out like 47 to something. The last time I picked the Chiefs over the Titans. Hopefully, history doesn't repeat itself. I'll take the Chiefs on this one since they're at home. But I wouldn't be shocked if the Titans pull an upset up their ass with Mike Vrabel and them. They're currently on a 5-game winning streak, so they're red hot right now. So I wouldn't be shocked.
So I had to actually look back at this game, and the Titans, who I thought were gonna regress, have been playing really well. They're 5-2. They're 5-2. Derrick Henry is still running the football. I was wrong about that. Now again, don't know how he's gonna be at the end of the year. The last time these two teams played, the Titans did blow them out. Yeah, this is actually a very, very tough game. And I'm actually going to stick with my gut and my pick, and I'm not going to change anything, and I'm going to go, and I'm still going to pick the Kansas City Chiefs to win this game. I was in a toss-up. I was a little bit – I might move to the Titans, but I say, you know what, let me just stick with my gut, and let me go with the Chiefs.
David?
I am going with the Chiefs on this one because it's at Kansas City and the Titans are kind of I mean they've won some games, but they haven't looked that great.
As long as Derrick Henry is running the football, they're going to win a lot of games. And he's been running well. Like his recent game was over 100 yards. So as long as Derrick Henry, like every team has that player that's very important to him. Like Tannehill, I don't know if Malik Willis is the quarterback. because I haven't been keeping track on the Titans. But yeah, I'm gonna take the Chiefs. Yeah.
Brian.
I'm taking the Chiefs, but I would not be surprised at all if the Tennessee Titans win. They always seem to play the Chiefs hard, and this like I guess out of all the trap games that could be potential, this would be the game because the Kansas City Chiefs should come in and win this game.
Dina took. Oh, I'm not on her thing. Let me see. Where is she? That's Monday Night Words.
She took the Titans.
Yep,
Oh,
she
she
took
took
the Titans.
Titans. Okay. I'm gonna take the Chiefs because at home, I think the Titans gonna have a hard time to beat the Chiefs at home. So I'm going with the Chiefs. Are you ready to party? It's
Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football.
November the 7th. Baltimore Ravens at New Orleans.
Give me the Ravens on that one. That's yeah. New Orleans. I'm still not. Even if they beat a bad Raiders team, I don't think they're gonna. I'm still not convinced yet. If they overcome their injuries and beat a Ravens team that won a close one and that'll get healthy soon.
I got the Ravens.
Okay, David.
This is the toilet bowl for the week.
Yep.
And,
The
How many
Aints.
million ones do you have, man?
Yep. The Aints versus Edgar Allan Poe. Yeah. This week.
it's the purple chickens versus the Aints.
The purple
Yeah.
chicken.
Or the purple chickens. The purple chickens work.
We're CEO, so I can say that to him.
I was gonna say Edgar Allan Poe, but
I've
yeah.
heard
that works.
CEO bash the 49ers so much it's not funny, so I got to bash the Ravens back. So I'm actually picking. This is my upset of the week too. I'm picking the Aints.
The Aints.
Nah, he's still in denial that he's Lamar's first NFC loss was to Danny Penny's, according to him.
Okay.
He's still in denial.
Riot.
Next year, Lamar Jackson won't be a Raven.
Riot.
Oh, that's right. He's on his 5th year, ain't he?
Yeah, this is his 5th-year option. He's making $30 million. Fully guaranteed. So that means that he's going to be a $50 million quarterback next year.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hear you.
All right. Yeah, I have a couple family members. Shout out to my grandmother Kim, great lady. She always rooted for the Saints, and my father-in-law, he's a Saint fan. But just for this game, I think it's going to be Baltimore. But it doesn't matter any team that goes into New Orleans. New Orleans is a hard stadium to win in. So I wouldn't be shocked if New Orleans wins, but I'm going to go Baltimore.
Well, the Niners did it in 2019.
Well, yeah, I mean, like we did it a couple times, and like those games that we shouldn't win, we end up winning. It's like when we're like favored to lose, don't count us out on those.
Dude,
games.
like Jimmy Garoppolo had a great game. Like our defense was like horrible that game. We gave up 42 points or 45.
I'm going to remember the 4th down touchdown pass to Kittle for the rest of my life.
And basically George Kittle, all he did was he took a slant, caught the ball, got the first down, and then ran, and he couldn't be taken down. And even like I saw the face mask, so we're gonna get positive yards, but like that was a game that showed everybody why Kittle is the best tight end, is because when 2 players can't tackle you, and the guy had to jump on you, pulling your face mask, and this guy is still running. And I think he made it to like the Saints 40-yard line, and then we got 15 more yards.
For
And then
for that game, you know, I'll never forget it for the simple fact that I was working. We were all watching the game at work. I had to go pick up the trailer. So then I turned the truck on. I turned the radio on. I'm listening to the game all the way to where I gotta go pick up the trailer at. I'm hearing it. I'm picking up the trailer. I'm listening to it. We're winning the game. I come back. Everybody I work with are like potential, are just like Raider fans, but they're cheering because they know we just won and they're giving me props. So I come in and I'm oh my god, it was such a great game. You hear it on the radio, you hear it on the television, and it was just a great game. But the game against Drew Brees and Candlestick, or at when Frank Gore won it with Alex Smith. I mean, those games are. There's been so many games because the Saints are a very tough game. So even with our upcoming schedule, us playing the Saints, I'm not going to take that lightly.
Okay, so I'm taking the Baltimore Ravens over the Saints. I know, yes, it's tough to beat. New Orleans, but I just had to stick with my gut and go with Baltimore Ravens. What's happening, Corey and Faithful?
Hey, what up, Lawrence?
what's up, Lawrence?
Lord,
The 264.
Well,
Oh, my bad. It's the 246. My bad.
yeah, platform 246. Yeah.
Oh man, Niners got the bye week. We're gonna get a lot of players back.
Mm-hmm. It's always good to get a good bye week at the sweet spot of the middle of the season just to regroup,
And,
especially if we're trying to make a playoff push.
And also to all Philly fans that they still own the division. BPS. I like BPS.
Not for long.
Oh
what is
man.
BBS real name?
BPS? I never checked. I think it was on Twitter, but I don't remember. I just still call him BPS.
Well, now he's the franchise because apparently
Yeah, the franchise.
His team is better than the.
How ironic! How ironic! He calls them the franchise, but yet he tries to think we're better than the franchise that has 4 rings to 1. How ironic!
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And okay, so how many points scored in this game, Monday night game?
How many points? Because it's a Monday night game, I might take a 44. I said the Ravens will win 27-17. Probably go away, 44.
All right, so let's see how many points. All right, so I think the Ravens could I think the Ravens can score 27 points, and I think the Saints will put 20. I'm gonna say 47. I'm gonna say 47.
All right, 3
points.
more.
Call
All
me
right.
crazy.
So
I think the Saints. I think the Saints will make it a tough game, but the Ravens, they are who they are.
And David?
I'm going to say 51.
All right, high
New Orleans
scoring.
win
High scoring.
27-24.
Ooh, he said 51. What?
27-21, yeah.
27-24.
20s game.
Yep.
All right.
Brian?
Me and Lily, my daughter, we were talking about this, and she says that the Ravens are going to score 35 points, and the Saints are going to score 23. So the game will be 58.
Over 68? 68?
58.
Oh, yeah, 58. God damn.
58.
That's what she's saying. She says that Baltimore will put 35 up, and then 23 with the Ravens because they're gonna be competitive, but at a certain point,
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
I mean,
I
the
won't.
Aints did just make the Raiders lay an egg, but at the same time, the Raiders aren't anything special. So
Yeah. Well, I went with 42 points.
Mm.
Now I'm not good at math, so I ain't gonna tell you. Oh, this is gonna have this and this is gonna.
All right.
I just said 42.
All right. I have a question for us, for all of us, for
Mm-hmm.
so of course, we do have a New York Giants fan in here. And
Really?
so I want to get the Niners perspective of the New York Giants because I want to say something, but I want to ask everybody, what were your thoughts before the season started? How did you think the Giants were going to do? And now looking at, I think they're 6-1.
Mm-hmm.
What
6-2 now.
what is the outlook for the Giants when you look down the road? So for anybody who wants to answer that.
I'm, now looking at them make playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I think they gonna make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna probably finish.
We're 6-2
Yeah.
right now. So how many more?
yeah, YTC. Sometimes I forget that you're a Giants fan. I never forget, but like I always think like you're a Niner fan. Sometimes maybe that's your second team or something, right?
This is
Hell no. I
But
thought
no,
it was
I
the
think
Packers, according to you guys.
Packers are your favorite team. I forgot. My bad.
Yeah.
I think if like last year, we had the Cardinals, the Rams, and the Niners making the playoffs. I don't think that's going to happen this year. So if potentially, it's just the Niners and maybe the Seahawks or maybe just the Niners out of the West, I think there's a good chance that I'm not a big Cowboy fan, but somehow the Cowboys end up making the playoffs. But I think the Giants will definitely make the playoffs. The Eagles look like they're going to make the playoffs, and I mean the Eagles at this point should be the number one seed.
Mhm.
But hopefully the Giants somehow could knock the Cowboys out. The Redskins, the Washington team, they're looking really good right now.
Oh yeah. I
So
was going to get to that point. Looking since there's a 7 seed added, there's a possibility all 4 NFC East teams could make the playoffs. That's all. There's a possibility.
True. That is true. That is 100% true.
They're number 8 right now. The Niners have the 7 seed. So if you guys fall apart and they start winning, they might secure that 7 seed.
I think in 2000. Let me do the math. I think it was 2006 or 2007, where the Commanders were 8-8 and they were 4th place, and then the other 3 teams, the Eagles, the Giants, and the Cowboys made the playoffs. I think that's the only time in that division's history where more than 2 teams made the playoffs, and we might see history again that
4 teams possibly.
4 teams with the 7 seed. So now here's my outlook of the New York Giants. Like here's my outlook.
All right.
Last year, and and you have 2 friends, the RJ and Undisputed.
Yeah.
And they always argue about Daniel Jones. It's kind of redundant, but anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember when your boy Giants Nation was saying, "Oh, they ball, it's trash, they ball," and I said, and I remember one time I hopped on this stream before everybody else. I said, wherever day ball has been, the quarterbacks, the offense have been really, really good. And now he's taking a quarterback that a lot of people are like, he's a bust, he's out of the team, and he's basically turned him what Jim Harbaugh did with Alex Smith. Alex Smith had a pretty good year, but Daniel Jones is going to have better numbers than Alex Smith. He might have career numbers, your running back, who I was worried about, is healthy, running the football, and he's up in the top 5 in rushing yards.
Mhm.
So, and then you guys have a very young defense, and your defensive coordinator. I'm sad. I'm so
Martindale.
disgusted why he doesn't have a head coaching job, taking the same players that you had last year with the new players and the young guys, and you guys are 6-1. Call me crazy, but this team could make a deep playoff run. Sorry, Philadelphia, and sorry, Cowboys. But that's the outlook that I see. I think you guys found your coach of the future, and whatever happens to your quarterback, if he
I hope
stays
he's another
for a year,
Coughlin. That's all I can hope.
but I will say this: he's going to get a big contract either with New York or somebody else. So we'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
Martindale probably. Yeah,
We'll see
I
what
could
happens.
see that next year. Martindale going to another team.
So I got
But-
the Giants winning a playoff game this season.
I'll take it. Yeah,
Now,
and also just to troll TRL, just so I could say, between us, DJ has a first playoff win before Kyler Murray.
oh wow! Oh no! I feel bad for TRL.
Hey, listen, don't blame me. Blame the media. The media brought this argument upon us when they compare those two.
Well, the Cardinals have a quarterback; they just don't have a team.
Shit, I wish DJ would have had DeAndre Hopkins as his number 1 receiver. How far we would go with that?
Oh man! So, yep.
Hey, real quick, did you guys hear me? Real quickly, is it Jimmy G's birthday?
Yeah,
Wait, for real? What is he turning? 30? 29?
31.
Oh, 31. Okay, close enough.
Well, happy birthday, Jimmy G. And
Well, happy birthday, Jimmy.
and Corey, happy birthday to you too.
Mhm.
And
Well,
everybody,
happy birthday to Corey, belated and everything,
Thank you.
thanks for having me on, Corey, John,
Mhm.
David, everybody. YTC, it's always fun to talk to you guys. I'm gonna jump off,
Mhm.
and
All
I
right.
look forward to seeing you guys next time.
Yeah.
All right, see you, man.
All right.
All right, you have a
Alright.
good night, guys. Good
Yeah.
night.
You too.
Yep.
Yeah. So let me go back to where I was talking about. With Elijah getting, if he can stay healthy, then the trading Wilson will be good.
Mhm.
But if we don't, we're gonna be back.
Yep.
Then we're gonna be using up what's his name?
Mhm.
CMC. We're gonna be using him up too much.
Yeah.
So
Like once Debo comes back, Jawan Jennings comes back. Like Kyle will have a lot of playmakers.
Yeah.
I don't know about Kyle Juszczyk. Someone said in my chat yesterday that he will be back after the bye, but I would hold him out until the Cardinals game. Like I want that finger to be like 100%, good. Because again, like a broken finger is not like a dislocated finger, a jammed finger, or a bruised finger, where all you need to do is just pop something back in place and everything's back to normal. Like putting like how Juszczyk has some wire screws on his bone because the bone broke. So you would ease them back slowly. But one thing about your finger muscles, they heal very quickly. But and again, he's playing a very tough sport, so I would not rush him back in. But we have a
me
lot of
too.
playmakers, and again, Wilson's gone. We don't know if Elijah Mitchell will suit up against the Chargers. That means that Ty Davis Price right now is the number 2 running back in Jordan Mason. But if Elijah Mitchell comes back, again, you don't want to work Elijah Mitchell to the bone. So one concern that was brought up, I don't know who said this, but why did Kyle keep McCaffrey out there once we were up 31-14? So Yeah.
Let's see. Well, next week I'll be going after the bye week.
Hmm.
I will be going to the Chargers game.
Nice.
Yeah, buddy.
Chargers, what? Chargers and Niners
Yep.
Sunday night. Oh yeah, the
Yep.
Sunday night game. Yeah, that game. I'll be
Take
doing that.
lots
Yeah.
of pictures. Take lots of pictures.
I'll be there.
I'll be doing that game tonight. Yeah, that game. Yeah, when next week.
Enjoying it because
My first game is until December, so yeah,
my nephew,
long way to go.
my nephew,
Mhm.
he bought me and my brother Kurt and my other nephew tickets for my birthday. So he bought those tickets for me to go to this game for my birthday. So I was like, "Oh, thank you, nephew." And he's a Raider fan.
Mm. Yep.
I said, "Oh man, too bad." He said he's gonna be out of town
Mhm.
that game. So
Yeah.
and
All
I
right.
know he wouldn't want to go because
Mhm.
he's a Raider fan.
Yeah. All right, Corey. I'm gonna bounce out. I gotta have some early dinner because I gotta be up in the morning. I gotta
Yeah,
go
I'm
somewhere. So I'll catch all you guys later. You have a good night.
You too.
All right,
All
man.
right, later, John Jay.
Oh,
Later, John.
John, before you go, I'm about to start my dialysis pretty soon.
Hopefully
Oh,
everything goes well, man. Hopefully.
hopefully it's all good. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I worry about you sometimes, even though I don't know you personally. I know you from StreamYard and YouTube, but yeah, you've been on my corner for a long time, man. I worry about you sometimes, and I'm not gonna lie. Like we need Corey Davis still in the faithful, so take it easy, man. Hopefully everything goes all right, and so you have a good night, Corey, and everybody
You
else.
too.
David, YTC. I'll see ya tomorrow.
Yep.
See you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm gonna end this.
All right. Take care, everybody.
All right. Have a
I'll
good
see you
day,
guys next week
wife.
on this
What you
channel.
see?
Yeah. YTC out.
Good
All right,
day.
Corey. It's always fun being on with you, buddy.
Yeah.
Good luck with the dialysis. I mean, I do hope everything goes well.
Yeah, guys. Let my doctor know tomorrow that I'm gonna try to see if he can start setting it up for after November the 13th. Let me try it.
Yeah,
Try the
yeah, for sure.
dialysis after the 13th. So, 'cause I don't want to interfere my going to my game.
Oh, I know. So, I hope your doctor's okay with that.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Man.
call my
Yeah.
sister and let her know. Can she
Hell
send
yeah.
the doctor a note?
All right, buddy.
All
Well,
right.
hey, you have a good night.
You too.
All right, man. See you next time.
All right. And I'd like to thank everybody that came in
Shit, what's
today.
he saying?
All 49 First Take, Dina, Mrs. Cup, and Mr. Cup. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out of the game, for coming in. Y'all have a good week. 49ers on the bye this week. I'll be at the game on 13th. Enjoy. Oops, wrong thing. And forgot to eat it.